last tournament was not much of a big swamp seed as you think. And here we go.
Oh, we are off. We're all anxiously awaiting the chests. Fairy water. An extra key, looks like. So that's an interesting start every time it happens.
Do you catch the spell they have?
I did not. It flashed so quickly I tried to focus on the wrong screen. So it's interesting what they choose to do here. 2 keys but no gold, so they can't immediately buy an extra key. So
According to Hangry Canuck, he said it was sleep was the spell.
Oh, that's a good thing. And I like lavkian's approach here. If you have sleep, and I didn't catch the stats yet, but decent strength, you might try to get a level first if you can't grind some gold. Looks like Highspirits went ahead and gambled on the treasury, which did have a key in it, and some gold that he is already grinding.
Well, hello, Rich Man Gold Grind.
Up2ng had the same idea. He's and mcgrew. So 3 out of the 4 went with the gold start. Lavkian has already been out there, and I don't believe there was anything immediate on screen, but it was a brief few that I got.
I bet you're gonna grind for maybe just the silver shield, possibly the flame sword, and what's the last armor they need that's strong enough?
Magic armor is the best armor you can buy. And we've got a question in chat here from our restreamer, Wolfman, who's doing so much for the community the past couple weeks. Everybody give him a follow and thank him very much for all the work he's done for us this week. But the question is, how are they gold grinding without even leaving the castle? And it's an interesting start. When you start with an extra key, as long as you don't leave the castle, it counts you as having opened 3 chests at the start, and then when you re-enter the throne room, it double counts those chests, as it will for the rest of the game as 3 chests counted for the entirety of the game. So it's part of the programming oversight from the beginning of the generation of this game. But you can basically manipulate so that you've opened 6 chests without doing anything, without leaving the castle. So that's how the gold grind's immediately available here.
And by the way, Lavkin is actually in coal.
Yeah, it looks like everybody took kind of different approaches. I'm not sure. Highspirits grounded 10,000 gold here, as Will Wagner's pointing out.
Well, Cole is actually guarding the fairy flute.
Very vanilla, mcgrew. Very vanilla to start things off here.
Even though this is a meme, is this even randomized?
So it looks like if you grinded enough gold, as up2ng did, you're going to get the flame sword, magic armor, and a large shield, which is just about as close to endgame equipment as you can get this early on in the game. They've got some various kills happening. The strength is still so low that the flame sword really isn't helping go to that kind of next tier enemy like the Magidrakes or the skeletons.
Oh, baby. Up2ng just got a level up, and it was 15 HP and 30 MP increased.
That's a good start right there. The HP is really helpful at this point. Looks like mcgrew got a Magidrakey there, and he's going to get level 2 immediately. mcgrew also carrying around 8 torches.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame mcgrew carrying 8 torches because he's gonna need that since he doesn't have the rain spell for any of the caves he might explore later on.
You can see up2ng getting the heavy magic armor and the flame sword out of that shop has allowed him to run up an early experience lead here.
I am guessing you might have rolled a god seed at this rate because I'm seeing another MTI level already. God dang it.
Well, I try to keep my promises.
Well, so far you have spun a little bit better than I did today.
We've got the grave up on mcgrew's side here. He's going to get 3 extra chests. Doesn't have room for that extra torch, though.
Ugh, that was not a good 3 chests, but are you willing to gamble on the Garen's Grave locked door?
I think if he tried it right now, it would be pretty much a waste of a key. I don't know. I mean, well, they don't have any healing, so there's no way. I wouldn't waste a key, but he is walking that way. He's not going to get there, though.
That'll be ripped by Demon Knight.
So I missed it. Was that the basement of the castle?
That I didn't know. I think so.
Fortunately, it looks like lavkian's going to have a rough start here because he did not immediately do that gold grind. I'm confident he can put something together pretty quick to catch up.
And I believe mcgrew's heading back to the grave. He's really starting to gamble on it.
He's already level 5. up2ng's at level 6. We've got Highspirits at level 5.
Oh, my bad. That was not the Garen's Grave in the Tantijal Basin. It's actually Jerk Cave.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. up2ng's getting the bad news about those 3 chests, and now he's got the same decision to make as to whether he attempts a dive or not. And he's going to just leave.
Yeah, because the demon knight just came in front of him and said, nope, you will not get away. Never mind.
And Hurtmore at level 6, so it's interesting. I don't know, either he's still not convinced that he can survive a dive through the full grave, or didn't have a key he wanted to spare on it at this moment.
Well, rip up2 because he just got fun policed to death.
We've got Highspirits in the mountain cave already, and I completely missed that.
I just wonder what he got. Ooh, I see on the tracker that he does have the stones.
Our fantastic trackers. We've got Melee Wizard and Tyrannex in here doing the hard work for us. That's a good thing to get crossed off the list here. And the sword. Not the most powerful find of the Erdrick sword ever, since they already had a flame sword, but that's always a great thing to already have in your back pocket.
Well, you just got acquired the most powerful sword in the whole entire game. Now it's the race to see who's gonna find the armor and the staff.
And it's really unfortunate. I'm really hoping that Lavkian reaches out. If he can find that mountain cave, he's going to be back on track here.
Oh, and up2 just got ripped by a rogue scorpion that has Dragon Lord breath.
This is a crazy fast start. To have the sword, a gold grind, and hurt more all available to you by level 6 is just kind of ridiculous.
Well, up2 got level 70. He got a 15 MP boost and a new spell, which I didn't catch what it was.
mcgrew's checking out all the shops in Cantlin right now. Probably looking for a silver shield is my guess. He'll take a half plate though.
Where is up2 anyway? Is he in Mountain Cave still?
He's about to be in the castle, it appears. I didn't catch where he had been though.
We are trying our best, folks, to keep on 4 screens, so bear with us.
Yeah, it's as you can all tell at home, it's insanely difficult to follow 4 racers at once, but we've got mcgrew checking on the coordinates here, if he can make it. Which the heal spell will help with, or herbs.
"42 north, 18 west" is the coordinates.
That's not bad. I would probably just try to count that, and mcgrew may be doing that right now.
Well, hello, Deathward. Let's see what happens.
So, up2ng did go right back to the mountain cave and picked up the stones, and he's on his way to the sword already.
Oh, he's gonna be very happy once he gets that sword in his hands.
Kaiden, I think this is our combined power in rolling a seed.
Well, let's see how bad is your Charlotte compared to what I did today.
I hope there's some twist coming up. I always hate for it to be too easy.
Well, if you were here last night, see, I spun the most easy seed possible for anyone who wants to take it.
So as far as things are left, before we start chalking up a victory for anybody, we do need to find the Silver Harp and Erdrick's token. Erdrick's token is going to be either in a chest left unchecked here, or on a search spot of which we know it will either be the coordinates or Hawkness, as well as the armor is going to be in one of those 2 search spots. So at any point that they find either Hawkness or count out those steps, it's going to be something vital to finishing the game. But really, that's about it. They need those 3 things, and they need about 8 more levels, and they should be roughly ready to go.
Question in chat: did up2ng get the Edric sword?
I did not pay attention enough, though I know that mcgrew, just as we said that, did get it.
According to Toodles in the chat, he said he did grab it. So pretty much up2ng is like saying, "I will slay some monsters right now."
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The one thing else outside of the armor they definitely need, all things considered, and the 2 required items left unfound, is whether they feel like gold grinding for a silver shield at some point in this seed.
Well, don't forget, we don't have the heal more spell either, which could be helpful against Mr. Dragonlord 2 when they get to Sharlock.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need that, and they are absolutely guaranteed to have it by level 16. But hopefully, stats progress nicely, and we're well ready to go before that. I would say even if they have to wait all the way till 16, that's still above average as far as levels go. So what are you thinking, Kaiden? What would you be doing next if you had found both the mountain cave and the grave already and had exactly what these runners have? What would you be thinking here?
If I was me right now, I'll try to find Oxidus immediately, see what the Guardian is and if it's grindable or not.
I like your style. I think that's a good call. Swamp Cave would be a close second. But I think grinding a few levels while you're overpowered here in the beginning, just to extend that lead, wouldn't be a bad call at all.
Well, what can I say? I play high risk, high reward.
And talking about leads here, up2ng's at about 850, I think. We've got Highspirits about 750. Looks like mcgrew's about 650 as far as experience. And a Metal Slime on up2ng's side.
Oh, please don't run away, Slime. We need you. Dang it! But I do see a town near up2ng side on the left.
Meanwhile, I got a feel for Lavkian here. He, I mean, honestly, if I were playing this seed, I think I would be right there with him. I would not have thought necessarily. I would not have risked doing a gold grind right out of the castle. Normally, that does not. I guess I shouldn't say normally, but it doesn't really pay off. It definitely doesn't all the time. So playing it straight up like he did, I think would probably be the way that I would have went. But it's just unfortunate the way this seed has panned out for him so far.
Well, if I was in Lavkian's shoes, I would actually maybe rename his build to a one-letter style, because every time you talk to a king, it kind of extends how many seconds you lost. And man, these blue dragons that Lavkian are running into is not being friendly, but he gets a level boost.
Ultimately, if I was sitting here as Lavkian right now, I would be thinking level 7 by 20 minutes in is a pretty good run. And to be honest, not having the equipment that the other racers have and not having the ability to survive to explore much further like the other racers have. Getting level 7 this quickly is a fantastic job out of him. It's keeping him in the race here. But while he tries to level up, the other ones are gaining the ability to... Sorry, I trailed off there. It looks like mcgrew is towards the end of his counting, maybe?
Yeah, he seems like he's counting. At least it's just a Drakey in his way, but followed up by a Scorpion, but it runs away. I think mcgrew is going for the search bot.
Meanwhile, we've got up2ng grabbing level 9.
I just wonder if mcgrew miscounted.
So, another thing to note, we haven't really taken a peek at stats too much yet this race. Highspirits is strength HP, as well as up2ng, he is strength HP here for the build bonuses. And mcgrew is strength agility, and that's also what some D, I'm not sure exactly what that is aimed for, lavkian's name, but Wolfman let us know that that is strength agility as well. As we see the stats up there, you can kind of take note of the different effects that those builds are taking on the seed.
Oh baby, I just didn't realize that the search bot that mcgrew
Outside
had.
of that, we've got the armor picked up by mcgrew, so he is the first to the coordinate spot, doing it the old-fashioned way.
I respect going the old way to do it.
So with a level 8 defense power 51, you would really hope that agility will catch up here, but a silver shield could still prove useful in this seed.
Also, trying to find Hawk's Nest as well, because he doesn't have to worry about swamp damage anymore or barrier problems. Is up2ng just grinding?
Another important feature here is Heal More came at level 9, so realistically mcgrew just has a couple items to find, and he's going to be looking to grind his way to the proper strength and Heal More count. And he's going to be good to go.
Well, Highspirits did manage to get his armor as well, so he might be dealing what mcgrew has right now, is looking for the last 2 items he possibly needs to progress.
Lavkian does have the sword now. That's fantastic to see. That's going to allow him to keep pace until maybe he can make a couple moves that allow him to strike quickly as well. Gonna go ahead and gold grind here, so he'll be caught up on equipment and he'll be well on his way. To be honest, An early lead is just an early lead. These guys, once we get to the end game, 700-800 experience comes very quickly with a couple right moves.
And the good thing about
And
it
as
is,
Will Wagner's pointing out in the chat, he has the additional knowledge that the early grinders did not have. And a silver shield, especially with a strength agility build, can make a big difference.
well, that's true. Lavkian is like the only one that he's been to Catalan, if I'm not mistaken, right? Oh, and a level 10 for Highspirits, which gives him a big boost of 38 HP gain.
So a little fun fact about the 4 guys racing today. I know all of them are avid Dragon Warrior fans in general. Highspirits has run, I think, every single Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest game there is. Lavkian was the recent Super Famicom version of this exact game, the vanilla. They ran a tournament about a month ago, and he wound up the champion of that. Up2ng is another avid Dragon Quest runner. He's run challenge modes of no grinding in several different Dragon Warriors. I think 4 and the most recent one, which was 9 maybe, that I've been watching. I can never keep the numbers straight. mcgrew, obviously the creator of the randomizer here, and another avid Dragon Warrior fan. So any one of these guys is great to follow, even if you're just a fan of the vanilla games.
Well, I can add for one more fact on Highspirits. He's the only one that's crazy enough to run all Dragon Quest in one sit-in. Oh, and Highspirits actually found Swamp Cave.
We've got up2ng grabbing level 11 here.
Oh,
That came with
baby.
a big boost of 20 HP, it looked like.
JJ, we got a Sharlock sighting at the end of Swamp Cave. Yes, he did, Will, and he was I actually witnessed it, and it was like...
Lavkian did convert his purchase into a silver shield, so he does have that advantage, and that can be a big one down the stretch here, especially if Charlock winds up being a tricky Charlock.
Well, speaking of coordinates, Lavkin's about to get his to get where the armor's gonna be. And according to chat, Highspirits will attempt once again kill all the Dragon Quests in 2 weeks from now. Well, for those who are watching right now, here is the current stats right now. Highspirits is at level 10 right now. mcgrew's also at level 10. Lavkian's still at level 8, still trying to grind out, and up2ng, the current leader on levels, is at level 11. Never mind, make that level 12 for up2ng. Oof. And I believe... Oh, thank goodness. up2ng was about to lose his stats to the... never mind, he is in Garringham, so... possible backdoor time. Let's see what those 3 treasure chests are. That'll be the silver harp, which is absolutely needed to get the staff of rain, and the rainbow drop, of course. So silver harp is in Garringham backdoor. So right now, up2ng is about to head to the basement of Garringham, which could be something useful, which is, of course, the Staff of Rain Cave, right on time. So right now, up2ng is searching for the token. Meanwhile, I believe HS is at Hawk's Nest battling a golem which is guarding something which we don't know what it is. Survey says Edric's tokens in Hawkness. So the tokens is actually in Hawkness. It is being guarded by Golem. So up2ng needs to jet there right now if he wants to get his rainbow drop.
Hey, I finally got back here. Sorry for that.
JJ, we found Hawksness and HS has the token for Edric.
I've been seeing pretty much everything here, but just was unable to talk, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's okay. I kind of had to win solo for a bit, so it was kind of nuts for me. I had to do that solo.
Yeah, that's my inexperience at the comms, and I apologize, but We're all good to go.
Now the real question is, once up2ng gets his rainbow drop, could we see just maybe an exploration near Sharlock?
I would say so. I mean, grinding, but their stats are already pretty good. I haven't looked in a while. I was trying to figure out what was going haywire on my end, but yeah, one or the other.
I can tell you this much. HS's attack power right now is 110 at level 11 right now, along with mcgrew.
Looks like up2ng's got 121, which is borderline. I don't know that I'd necessarily count on getting, 10 power here on the next level. But he could start considering, grinding a little bit and then taking a dive any minute, really.
Well, so far you actually rolled a really good seed.
It's kind of ridiculous that we're 36 minutes in and kind of considering that, but they are well on their way. Each of them looks like one item away from finishing up and getting the rainbow drop. Yeah, and the agility is going to be the one that hurts, which is why I still have some hope for Lavkian here.
Well, we got level 12 sighting, and we got... Oh boy. We just got hurt.
Yeah, I really admire how Lavkian has been able to keep this within striking distance. He's still only about 2,000 behind a couple of the runners. Unfortunately, he's up against up2ng, who is the furthest ahead in experience right now.
And I believe up2ng is counting for the armor right now as we speak.
He's taking those little double steps.
Well, JJ, you might be the second person who generated a sub-hour seed at this rate.
There's still twists and turns to come.
Are you saying that your Sherlock monsters are not that friendly?
Well, if the red dragon has hurt, I'm not really sure. I don't know what to think, but there's always the chance of something with a wombo combo or, just terrible stat gains down the stretch here.
And I do have a confession for everyone. I actually never been Dragon Warrior 1 on my own ever since joining the Chaos Tournament. So basically, yeah, I'm like kind of the underdog for this tournament. But hey, I suffered a 4-hour Chaos Sea, I can suffer another one.
I think I'm the one that rolled that chaos seed, if I remember right.
I don't think so, JJ, because I remember it was, I think, because I know up2ng was commentary on my match for me with against Captain Green, but I don't think you rolled that seed.
I was the restreamer for that one.
And I don't think you rolled it. Or
It might
did
have
you?
been. I'd rather blame it on up2ng, I guess. We'll just go with that. It was his fault.
And speaking of Cole, Lavkin's back into it. I think he's just staying in for the end.
Highspirits is picking up his Staff of Rain right now.
And he knows where Jerk Cave is, so pretty much he's gonna get his legendary rainbow drop soon enough.
That's
You know what's
something.
even,
No, you go
you know,
ahead.
you know what's even weird? We haven't seen Breckenary.
Furon's not here to care about that.
Well, you never know if he could be lurking in the background somewhere.
No, we're getting calls out that Breckenary's been spotted, but it was just that forgettable. Looks like it's part of a bi-state area.
And Highspirits got his rainbow drop, so entry to Sharlock unlocked.
So I've always kind of wondered this. The rainbow drop from, the vanilla game. Is it... In my mind, it was always like an eardropper until now, but... What do? You just drop it in the water and the rainbow bridge sprouts out of it?
I always questioned that about that on the vanilla game for some reason.
Been playing this game for 30 years. Got no idea on that.
I just recently played it this year, so I'm pretty much brand new to it. Even though I played the other Dragon Quest games along with Dragon Warrior 3 and 4.
So I think up2ng got the armor there, if I'm not mistaken.
I hope so, because he needs it at this rate. That's all he needs in the token.
I'm gonna go with the Hangry Canucks option. That is just a flask that pours out the rainbow.
Hangry Canuck, I agree. Actually, for once. And I believe mcgrew just found out where the token is right now because he's battling the golem at Hawksness.
Got Lavkian. He's going ahead and picking up Gwalen here. Which I think makes him the only person that grabbed her.
That's true because everyone else got their coordinates at Catelyn. And for those who don't know what Gwalen does after you return her to her throne, she'll give her coordinates to get to her. But in reality, if you reverse that coordinates, that gives you the coordinates to get to the armor for this seed.
She'll give you your position at any time you want. She just steals 3 seconds of your life.
And don't forget, she actually provides you how much EXP you're missing.
That is true. That is a reasonable reason to get Gwalen in the Chaos Seeds for sure. Where level experience needed for the next level is also randomized.
Is mcgrew grinding on these golems?
I guess he is. Because he already has the token. And that's reasonable to an extent. They just have very high attack power and very high hit points as well. It's just a really tough grind to keep the time up.
Well, don't forget, mcgrew has not gone to Geringham where the harp is.
I don't personally mind a little early grinding if you think it's going to help you long term. It's just really difficult to say. Highspirits looks like he's pounding the blue dragons here. That's not an ideal grind, but I would take that one over the golem, I think, just about any day.
Plus, that's more of a safety bet anyway, compared to the golem.
mcgrew definitely has the experience lead of the four, but as you'd mentioned, he's still missing the silver harp, and thereby missing the staff of rain that's going to get him into the castle to finish things out. I would give Highspirits the advantage here. Just having exploration done and already on the grind, and probably doesn't make a big difference, but I think of the two, I think the blue dragon is what I would pick here.
And lavkian finally gets his Edric's armor, and he's casting Return to go back to Tantagel.
lavkian really needs to... I don't know how he would do this, but he really needs to find a way to grind early. If he started now and got a few levels and kind of just quickly found the other two items he needs, he may have an advantage. But being about just less than 3,000 behind up2ng, that's a big hill to climb, unfortunately.
Unless somehow up2ng gets screwed at Charlotte Castle, I don't see him losing this race. But I think you're right. I think Highspirits might have the advantage right now over mcgrew, because mcgrew's a little behind on items, but he has the level advantage.
It really all comes down to what can you kill on the way to finding the items you need. If there's a lot of high experience killable monsters, then you're not going to lose a lot of time. But if you're... And he finds a golem here, so that's maybe a good sign since he was grinding it anyway. But just being able to rinse and repeat with the blue dragon and be done, I think that's a big advantage here.
Well, if if mcgrew finds maybe a few metal slimes that are not running, that he could possibly just keep his lead, probably get the lead back once he gets to the harp and everything else.
The other thing that's going to be the great equalizer in this seed between, all the runners is, I say, if there's one stat that I don't want to be low on come the end game, it's agility. Which is funny because I'll never go strength agility as a build, but not having agility at the end game puts you at a huge risk.
Yeah, especially if maybe getting back attacked by Dragon Lord 2.
Well, and they're not going to have, as Will Wagner pointed out, they're not going to be able to just power through red dragons at any level unless they have the agility to just run away from them.
Oh, but the Miltime's staying around with the Highspirits side, which is a good sign. And he gets the kill.
That's a nice little freebie 255.
Just for a measly 4 HP to kill with. And hello, we're back at Cantlin to just rest up and get more grinding done.
mcgrew just sniped a red dragon up there too with a crit.
And up2ng is about to find his token because he's like one step away from the golem trap. And of course, mcgrew is in Geringham. He's gonna get his silver harp, and I just hope he goes to the back door of Geringham, which he'll be rewarded quickly.
No reason that he won't here. So this is going to be really tight between the veterans here, mcgrew and Highspirits. By the time mcgrew gets out of here, the experience will probably be about even, if not hedged into Highspirits' lead. And then they'll both be just grinding until they can dive.
And up2ng just got his token, so he's is he gonna grind on the golems? I would grind on the blue dragons in the swamp cave if I was him.
So it's a tough call. I mean, the golem's going to have 75 more experience per kill than a red dragon, so you really have to look at it more like, you know, is he roughly, you know, 30, 20, 30, 40 somehow percent harder to kill than a red dragon? It's really, this is an interesting kind of viewpoint. It'll be interesting to see who gains experience faster than others between the two, because that's not math I can just do in my head. And Mr. Holmes isn't here to do it for me.
But he does have the advantage on the golem grind because he does have the fairy flute on his hands.
That is true. I didn't really notice that. mcgrew was doing this without a fairy flute. But the fairy flute itself, too, it wastes 8 seconds a toot. So that's not a ideal situation. You'd like to be in a place if you have to grind a golem to where you can just outpower him.
Yeah, that's true. Those 8 seconds are kind of precious. But if you have spare time and you feel like your opponent's way behind, you can just waste a few.
The 3 of them are all within a few hundred experience points right now, which is crazy. And again, lavkian is only behind really because of that early exploitation of the gold grind that he did not take, which is unfortunate.
Oof! And the fun police is not fun because it has heal more on them.
Right, yeah, Will Wagner pointed that out. So you can't even count on just overpowering a red dragon. You have to be able to run from them, which you'll have a lot of attempts to do because they're also chaining hurt. But agility and RNG is going to play a heavy part if those guys are in Charlock really anywhere. So up2ng gets his rainbow drop. He leaves the castle. He looks like he's going to grind some more. But he's at level 14. Everybody's just about 400 to 500. Looks like about 700 away on mcgrew's side from level 15. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
And Highspirits is actually right now has the experience advantage over mcgrew right now by a few, I say, according to my math, 800 points, but not anymore. It's now down to 6.
Yeah, it looks like mcgrew hasn't quite gotten back into a grind since grabbing the final items. But Highspirits is going to have to take a rest here. And that'll give him some time to catch up.
I think he's at least looking for Breckenary.
But yeah, can we get the stats back up? Because it looks like Highspirits is hightailing it back. He's ready to go.
He's at level 15 already. mcgrew's still behind.
Highspirits is scrambling to get back so that he can rest up and take a dive, it looks like. And to be honest, it looks like up2ng is about 3 or 4 kills of random enemies behind him here.
And Highspirits sees a town, and we don't know what it is, so buckle up. We might find out in a few seconds.
So defense and agility, especially agility. Agility is not ideal for Highspirits here, but it's not the worst. I've definitely seen worse. With the HP to attack power gains that he's looking at, I assume that he is going to equip the Death Necklace to finish this out. As he hightails it back to Sixtown in that bi-state area.
Well, it's kind of convenient because it's right next to Hawksness and Charlock.
If mcgrew can take down this red dragon, he's going to be 20 points shy of the go level. Meanwhile, up2ng is about to get it as soon as he polishes off this blue dragon.
Well, AK-47 on HS's side, but I don't know if he has enough.
He's just going to power through that here. Just trying to conserve all that MP. So I think if I saw the stats right, Highspirits has 126 attack power and 148 hit points.
That's correct.
So he's going to up that to 136 attack power. I'm assuming it's not highlighted on. I guess he's probably making a play that the Death Necklace is down in the Charlock treasury. Is that what we're all kind of thinking here?
Well, that's my way of thinking right now. That's probably his only best bet right now to kill D-Lord with level 15.
Because there's no way you'd go down with 126. So it's either that or he's going to just fight his way down. Which is feasible, especially with that hit point total. But let's assume, as I would assume, he's going to put the Death Necklace on here. So he's going to be at 136, which is going to give him 9 to 18 for a range, which is going to give him 13.5 per attack.
Which is not too bad against D-Lord 2 because you really want to be in double-digit range for attacking.
Yeah, that's going to give him what? Like about 162 in 12 attacks. So I'm kind of streaming this together after a few drinks, but I think that's about right. 162 after about 12 attacks, and he's got 13 heal more, so he's good to go. If he either has or can find the Death Necklace quickly, this is a good one to go on. And mcgrew is thinking the same thing.
Well, don't forget, it could be a 150 HP Dragon Lord too if it's at the low end.
Oh yeah, I think it's given either way. It's a go see it if you have the Death Necklace. And mcgrew has about 5 extra points of agility there, as we see. So, what difference is that going to make?
Yeah, mcgrew does have to have the agility recommendation for it. But attack power wise, I say I'll still put on the Death Necklace at this rate once you get to Dragon Lord.
Yeah, there's only one option, or there's two options here. They're either fighting their way down, which they're not, and thinking they'll get the next level, but they think they're going to find the Death Necklace, or they already have it. But I trust our trackers, so I assume they don't have it, and they're going to put it on when they find it here in the bottom of the treasury.
Oh, gross. Stonemen have Dragon Lord breath.
Oh, God, that's not ideal at all.
Let's just hope that the Stoneman is not the guardian of Dragon Lord. Oh, HS is skipping the treasury.
So, do they already have the Death Necklace?
If they do, I probably didn't catch it, but I didn't see their inventory.
Because he's still about 1250 away from the next level.
And it's AK-47 at the Guardian tile for Dragon Lord 2.
Nice crit to close that out.
Well, buckle in, folks. HS is gonna try to risk it at level 15 with 126 attack power.
So that's what? That's 6 to 13. And I'm assuming the tracker, the stats there are right. That's 6 to 13 is 9.5. He will get plenty of doubles with hit points that high. I'm just really surprised I didn't check for the death necklace. That's a big swing in my mind, time-wise. We'll see what mcgrew does, but...
Well, buckle in, folks. Dragon Lord 2 be summoned. And he ambushes.
We get a 6 to start. That's 6, 9, and 8. So 23. mcgrew at least got the fighter's ring down there. 128 is kind of a big swing. I know it's only 2 attack power, but there's a 13 max roll out of Highspirits. But a 9.5 average versus a 10.5 average is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, at least mcgrew's gonna have double digit, but Highspirits is hanging around pretty well right now.
Another 8. We need Ferran here to count these out. I don't have the attention span for that.
Yeah, my math is not that great either, and I can't count that fast because of the text inputs he's doing.
Centroid's doing the work for us. He says 76 here. And I'm going to guess go to 89. And then an 8 makes it 97. And 106. He's only got 4 left.
This is starting to get really dicey, folks.
Up2ng is doing the same play here. This is insanity right now. Centroid calling 118.
Couple Healmores left, I believe.
12 is a good roll there. 11 and a final attack. Actually, I'll have 2 more. A tenner. And 10 did it. But up to...
Wow! I'm just shocked. HS just barely made it on the skin of the team.
Gold.
Well, get your GGs out, folks, because Highspirits is about to finish.
It looks like mcgrew did not have the same luck that Highspirits did, and there you see the 104.31. Congratulations to Highspirits for closing this out. Let's give some props to lavkian. He's sitting at 14 right now. And I know we have the stats up, and I'm not sure he's got all the items, but he's made up a lot of ground here. mcgrew's diving in. We see it didn't work out for up2ng. And yeah, hopefully we get all the runners in here for an interview.
That was the most diciest D-Lord fight I've seen.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I would not have had the... He got a good amount of double attacks, but I would not have went there, I don't think. So, props to Highspirits. That's the experience just showing through here. And mcgrew is doing the same thing, so... They've all got the right idea. It's just gotta work for him here.
Well, up2ng's gonna try again to dive on Sharlock right now because, well, D-Lord says deny him for the first time around.
I thought for sure when Highspirits got back attacked that he was going to have a lot of trouble. And it came down to the very end, but I think he had it by a few hit points, even at max. So, yeah, that is just a good call. Oh yeah, the fighter's ring.
And we are joined now by Highspirits. GG to you, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Some of us, as in myself, were skeptics on that dive. How confident were you on that?
I was very confident until, like, out of the first 12 or 13 rolls, I think I had 1 or 2 that was above 10. That's when I started panicking.
Yeah, you got 1 max roll there, and I think a bunch of 8 and 9s, it looked like.
And a lot of 6s. I rolled minimum on a lot of rolls.
That was the most diciest I've seen you dive in there at Highspirits. No doubt about it.
I had no problems because so I was sketchy at first. Then I ran into that red dragon just before I healed up, and it started casting Hurt. Once I saw that, I knew the dive was going to be easy because if I got stuck fighting red dragons and unable to run, I was just going to kill them easily, and even gain a level because that's why I was fighting a little bit because I was like, okay, we'll see when the red dragons come. Maybe I'll level up on the way down, but they never came, so I just said, forget it, let's go.
Yeah, how many... I was not... I'm going to be honest, was not able to keep track, but how many double attacks did you get that polished that off for you?
I got a couple at the end. I had a triple attack in one of the phases.
Yeah, mcgrew actually stopped off and got the fighter's ring out of the treasury.
And I just see he unfortunately wiped.
And he wiped, yeah. So this was not a given dive. I think I can guarantee that now. My assumption, as wrong as it was that you were going to count on the death necklace being down in the treasury. Had that crossed your mind?
Crossed my mind, but I didn't bother thinking about it. I knew I had 13 heals, mores, and I could do 6 to 13 damage, and, I'm used to beating Dragon Lord with 10 heal mores and a lot less health, and, with, just 20 less health or 25 less health or so. So, as a speedrunner of the game, it kind of like, I had confidence in my stats and where I was. I just needed halfway decent damage rolls, which it took a while to get them, but we got them.
So another question for you. When you saw the 2 keys in the treasury, were you immediately thinking, I'm going to save, I'm going to check for gold, and I'm going to do a gold grind?
So, this is what I thought was going to lose me the game. Okay, gold in here. I got the gold grind. I'm going to grind up to about 10,000. I'm going to look around for a town for a flame sword. And bam, was I so happy when I found Cole there with the flame sword. And then, 3 minutes later, I find Erdrick's sword. And then I'm like, after I started getting beaten up a bunch, I'm like, okay, I'm going to gold grind for the magic armor, just so I can try to survive because I have 20-some agility at level 12 or 11 or 12. And then I get the magic armor and 3 minutes later, bam, Erdrick's armor. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to lose me the match.
Well, I can say that it actually paid off for you pretty well, including that blue dragon the blue dragon grind you had at the swamp cave.
Yeah, thankfully I had hurt. Too bad I had heal more, but thankfully I had hurt.
Yeah, I think honestly, looking at it now, we did notice that you ground up to about 10,000. Up2ng had ground up to, I think, the full amount because he walked out of there with magic armor and large shield right from the start. But you obviously made up time in other ways throughout the seed here.
I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to be too greedy. I'm like, I just want a flame sword or a broadsword and some armor or something. So I went to a value that would, allow me to get broadsword and magic armor or flame sword and herbs or something along that line. And the flame sword is the main thing I wanted. And when I saw it, that's all I wanted was that flame sword.
Yeah, it's strange. I gotta admit, I did already, but I think my connection had been lost at that point. But I would have been in lavkian's camp. I don't know if you peeked in yet, but lavkian did not do an immediate gold grind and played the seed straight up, and that would have been the path I took. So I'd be right there with him, at least a dive behind, but he's played valiantly to kind of keep up with you guys throughout the seed.
I wasn't going to gold grind, and then I saw that chest not disappear, and I'm like, ding! Light went off in my head. I'm like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just try to get some money and pray that there's something around.
Yeah, it's hard to say. That's kind of a meta that hasn't evolved yet, really, which is right and which is wrong. But, no, it definitely paid off. I think, you played the most balanced game of everyone.
I figured I probably got the early level lead because of that gold grind, but then I saw Erdrick's Sword, and I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't get that much of a lead.
No, you did not, because mcgrew was kind of a little bit ahead of you on experience for a while until you started to catch up onto his tail.
Yeah, you definitely had the exploration lead.
I have a tendency to fall way behind on experience, but then catch up and get the head somehow. I don't know. That just seems to be most of my races. Is I fall way behind on experience and I find a way to catch up.
Well, and looking at it now, mcgrew he's got 16 now, and I think he's making his way back. He may still be. Can't imagine he's still grinding. And up2ng is fighting off here. He's about 2/3 of the way through the fight.
Yeah, I bet you mcgrew is going to get a silver shield. Because even though there's one before the cave, he does have enough money for it.
There you go, right as you said that, he's branching off.
And I do have a question for you, Highspirits. When are you going to do the Dragon Quest Marathon again? Like the last attempt we did?
2 weeks. Which means there's a few days that I can't do my randomizer during race during week 4 or whatever.
So, just not to interrupt, but if up2ng's down to 2 more Healmores as he uses the second to the last here, if he doesn't convert this, lavkian's making his way down with a much higher defense power. So up2 needs to convert this one if he's going to win this race.
Yeah, I did get meleeed for 51 one of those times. I was like, I can get hit for 52, I think, is what I was thinking. It's like, this guy's going to hurt. It's a good thing I got 140-some health.
Yeah, up2 got an extra hit there, and he had 2 more attacks to go when he closed it out. But I still say, really, kudos to lavkian for keeping this a close race. He, without doing that immediate gold grind, had a real hole to dig himself out of and did a fantastic job.
And GG to up2ng. He actually finished in an SRL time 1 hour and 14 minutes and 19 seconds. GG to up2ng.
Yeah, congrats to my man there. So Highspirits and up2ng moving on to the 2-0 club here. Joining Sparkover, who I think I saw in chat.
Yes, we do have a Sparkle we're sighting.
So what else really stuck out to you in this seed, Highspirits?
The fact that I don't think I've ever in my life failed to run to a Magidrake at level 12 twice in a row.
Those are the things that stick with you, the dodges and the failed runs.
That one specifically stuck with me. Because I was thinking to myself, I don't think this has ever happened to me before. I think I had 29 or 32 agility or something at that point.
In all your years of Dragon Quest and Warrior, this is the Magidrake that did it.
Well, speaking of Sharlock diving right now, lavkian is on his way to D-Lord too, but he's going to check the treasury right now where the Fire Ring is waiting for him.
Yeah, and he might wind up eclipsing mcgrew here. He does have the death necklace. And then walks back and immediately gets the fighter's ring. So I think we know his plan. He's of like mind as I was, that I would be just begging for that death necklace here.
He has to DN right now, along with the Fire's Ring.
So kind of note here is that Highspirits, you and up2ng both took the strength HP approach, and your opponents, mcgrew and lavkian, took the strength agility approach. And it worked out well for you and up2ng, who just got into chat here. GG.
What's going on? What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Loud and clear.
we were just kind of breaking down. It happened to be Highspirits and you took strength HP builds into this one, and your opponents took the strength agility builds.
Okay.
Any thoughts around that?
Yeah, I mean, there are several thresholds at the end game where HP really matters with Dragon Lord 2, and one of them is if you happen to hit 148 hit points. Like, a lot of how you calculate when it's time to go kind of changes if you get 148 hit points, because you can never out-heal your heal mores at that point. So I knew, even though on paper I didn't have enough heal mores, I knew for sure that I had it, and it was a huge error when I swung at 49. It was like autopilot. I acted too fast. Like I knew I didn't need it. It should have just healed like I did like the 3 other times that I was in 49 or 50. I just like swung. As soon as I did it, I was like, oh my god, he's probably gonna get me. And he got me. It just made me absolutely sick. Like it's a huge error. Like I knew I didn't need to do that.
Yeah, my theory is strength and HP always, because strength and hit points is what really helps you survive. I mean, take case in point, look at this seed. I ended with 71 agility. I had, no problem getting through Sharlock and getting into the Dragon Lord. I would rather have the few extra hit points and the extra damage, because in my eyes, at the end of the day, that's going to get you through the Dragon Lord fight more than maybe taking 1 less damage.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's if you happen to get a tough Sharlock, I can see that, it might help to have some agility, but I think the benefits of HP are just so significant. There's so many little ways that it helps you. Yeah, for sure. I always go strength HP. I think it's a pretty big advantage.
And this seemed to be a low agility seed throughout.
Yeah, I think we got enough agility right on the last level. I assume Highspirits and I went on the same level. And before that, we were in the 50s, and that could have been a little dicey, although the Sharlock happened to be fairly easy. There just were a few armored knights at the bottom, I guess. But yeah, if we didn't get that agility, it could have been a little bit nasty. But we got like 14 agility right on the last level or something, so made it a little bit below average, but still okay. All right, that was probably the very best game of Dragon Warrior Randomizer I've ever played, and it makes me so kind of disappointed that I had to add like 7 or 8 minutes to the run because I ended up getting hit for 49 by Dragon Lord 2 and I swung at 49. That was just, I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, I always try to make sure I calculate how much damage he can hit me for before I go into the fight, so I know what my healing threshold is.
Yeah, and I did that, and I got put in that situation 3 other times in the same fight, and I healed every time. And on this one, it was just like, I don't know what happened. It was like autopilot, and I was just like, oh my god, what did I just do? And then he got me. It was like, what?
Yeah, he did hit me for a 51 one time, so I'm like, yeah. I know, he's hitting hard.
51 was the max. I knew that going in.
And get out your GGs for lavkian. He's going to convert this into a 3rd place finish, which is fantastic.
Yep, he's sniping mcgrew right now.
But I mean, I'm just really happy with. There were like 3 caves that I saw and I didn't even go into because I knew for sure that the token was on a search spot, and like that saved so much time. I was really happy with that.
Well, Garingham was the last thing that I found, but I knew from finding everything else that Silverharp's either going to be here or in one other place, and it was thankfully there, so I was able to grab it, and I had everything else already, so just went right to the grind.
Okay, so you must have went to the second continent early. I went there last.
I went there early, but kind of early. But like I went to the grave of Garingham Grave, but I didn't make it to the bottom, so I was just going to save that until I found everything else, and I found everything else, so...
Yeah, so same here. I did the top of the grave kind of early, and then I eventually knew I didn't need to go. So what happened was along the way, somewhere or another, I found 2 cursed belts, and I know from just the way it works that means that the armor and the flute and the token all have to be on search spots. So, but when I ended up finding the stones and the harp, like I originally noped out of tablet because I didn't have outside, and it was just like right there. I figured I could do that anytime, and I already had the sword, so it wasn't like an emergency to go in there. So I never ended up doing that. I never had to go to the bottom of the grave. And there was even like a cave like right over on the second continent. I saw it and I was like, I just don't need that cave. There's nothing in the cave that I need. I knew I needed a search spot. I was looking for Hawksnest the whole time.
Wow, Lavkian sounds like a chipmunk.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there, but GG Lav, are you there with us?
Oh, looks like it was close between Lavkian and mcgrew as well. They both just finished.
Yeah, so notable here is, of the 4 of you guys that ran, Lavkian's the only one that didn't do an immediate gold grind. And for him to convert that as favorable as that option would have been for the other 3 of you here, for him to convert that into a reasonable time is fantastic.
Yeah, honestly,
I feel
that
so
town
dumb
right
now.
there. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel so dumb now. I didn't even think of that. Wow. Yeah, there it is.
So I just with the town right there. If let's say I didn't get it, I probably would have re-rolled my entire game and started over. Just because of what was there and what you could buy right away. If I didn't get the gold grind for some reason, I would have just re-rolled my whole file and started over.
How much money did you grind to up2ng?
I went with. I've been deciding that exactly 20,000 is a good thing, and it just so happened that was like exactly enough for all the stuff that was in this town.
Yeah, I
feel like it's unlikely to get all 3 good things. So like 20,000 gives you like a combination of like a lot of good things. You can get broadsword, full plate, silver shield, or you could get, flame sword, magic armor, large shield, which is what we ended up doing this time. So it was, I don't know. That's what I ended up with, 20,000.
Yeah, I feel silly not having thought about that. Wow, that didn't even cross my mind. I was just thinking, oh, I've got a key. I've got enough money for a hand axe. Unfortunately, there was no hand axe. So
my minor error with that is that I had missed the fact that there was a key in the treasury. So I was running around for a while assuming that I had no keys, and I had to go back to Cantlin a bit later to get the coordinates. But fortunately, it was sort of right there. It wasn't like a big side trip, but
it sounds like that's kind of crazy because it sounds like the time difference basically comes down to I full cleared everything. I full cleared the grave. I checked bonus cave, even though it was silly. I saw that cave and I knew it wasn't something I needed to do, but I did it anyway. I did tablet because I thought there was a chance that the harp could be in there because all the searching I'd done up to that point. I thought the harp might be in tablet. And then also I counted the steps a couple of times, but I went wrong. I tried to go east up and then assumed that I could go all the way over left.
Yeah, I did that one time too.
And I didn't. And then once I realized that I thought that there was a possibility that it could be on the second continent. So then when I just kind of stumbled upon the swamp cave, I just grabbed the princess and then just like walked vaguely in the direction where I thought it would be and then just grabbed the armor. So, but wow, yeah, dang! If I had thought about that early gold, 15.
Oh, okay. I figured maybe because I know you often go strength agility, I thought maybe you would have gone another level.
15 had actually enough HP. I had 136. So once I saw that, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna dive and grab the death necklace, and hopefully it works out, and it did.
Oh, okay. So you knew for sure the death necklace was in the treasury. Yeah, I didn't know that, so I didn't look for it.
Yeah, that is one thing. Because I had full cleared the map, I knew it had to be in Charlock. And then, so yeah, I was just like, all right, I know once I get the death necklace, I'll be strong enough. And I think I finished with like 2 or 3 heal mores as well. On top of, I only got 1 attack at the start because I ran out of herbs. And I started the DL2 fight with like 55 HP, praying not to get sniped. Got a miracle double attack in there somewhere off of 2 low physicals. And then, yeah, finished with a couple extra heal mores, so.
And we are joined by mcgrew. GG to you, sir.
Thank you. I didn't even think to look in the treasury for the death necklace. I wasn't even thinking about it until I got to the fight.
So what level did you guys finish at 16 then, or?
15 for me.
15 with no death necklace Highspirits?
Yeah, same here. We just had so much HP that we were just counting on lots of double attacks, basically. So
yeah, if I had the 136, you guys must have been pushing 150.
148 we had.
Nice. Yeah, you can get and the agility was awful for most of that seed, but it picked up towards the end. So yeah, there with 148, there's like high potential for triples. So yeah, I can understand that.
I went strength agility also, so.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So 16 gave a pretty good attack boost then?
It was only like 2. But I just got a lot better DL2 fight, I guess. I don't know what happened exactly, but I had like 24 MP left over at the end.
Oh. Well, yeah, and with if there was any extra HP, yeah, I had 136 at 15. If there's any extra HP at 16, which sounds like it does, then yeah, you'd be pretty good then still. And I might have been too, but
I think I had like 140 or something, so it was about 4 on level 16.
Also, I knew the fighter's ring was in there, so I saw the death necklace, and I was like, I should check for the fighter's ring. And I opened the next chest, and there was fighter's ring. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I did grab the fighter's ring because I was.
Oh man, I didn't think of that either. That would have helped a lot.
Yeah, I figured I would need that as soon as I got it. I just bugged out of there, though. I didn't even think about the death necklace.
Oh, you got that's interesting. You got the fighter's ring before the death necklace in the Charlock treasury?
Yep.
Oh wow. So the death necklace was 1 to the right.
Okay. Yeah, I went down the bottom 3 and then went up and grabbed the fighter's ring and then just bugged out of treasury. So
yeah,
I was thinking about bugging out as soon as I got the death necklace, but then since up2ng already finished, I was like, yeah, I'll just grab the fighter's ring because I know it's here.
Yep. And then after the loss to DL2, I did a gold grind and grabbed a silver shield and then went down again. That helped too.
Oh wow, you lost and went down again. Dang. That's crazy.
Yeah, I lost my first fight to DL2 because.
Yeah, I did too, Lavkian. So
wow.
Yeah, I think I would have won, but I had to burn a heal more on a stupid stone man because I kept failing to run from him.
That level 1 grind, man, it's huge.
Yep.
Yeah, that level 1 grind was huge. Yeah, I can't believe I brain farted that one, but oh well, now I know for next time.
Yep.
It doesn't always work out, but yeah, it led to at different times, about a 4,000 experience lead, it looked like.
I was very unhappy when I found the Erdrick sword in Mountain Cave, though.
Me too, because I grinded to 10,000 at the beginning, hoping to find a flame sword. I found the flame sword, and then Erdrick's sword, and then I did the same thing for the magic armor, and then found Erdrick's armor right after it.
I grounded 15, and I think I grabbed chainmail, flame sword, and large shield, and then like 10 minutes later, I didn't find the mountain cave immediately because I went west and found Karen's grave. Then a few minutes later, I found Mountain Cave and found the Erdrick sword. It's like, I hope Erdrick sword's not in here. I was thinking it the whole time. I was like, I hope it's not in here.
Oh, I said the
And
same
it
thing.
was.
I'm like, I think I'm brilliant because of what I did. And except for the Erdrick sword, no, it's in here.
Yep, that was my thought exactly too. Although I kind of figured you would get the gold ground also. So
The seed was great because it gave a lot of different decisions to you guys, and having 4 very experienced Dragon Warrior runners, in not only this game but many others, it was very interesting to watch.
yeah, I was actually fighting DL2 when Highspirits finished my first fight. So
Right.
Oh wow, were you? What? So all 3 of us were right there then at the same time.
yep.
Yeah. I had just died when he finished.
So did you fight your way down Highspirits, or did you just dive?
Well,
Right.
this is what my thought was. I knew agility was bad, so I was thinking I was just going to fight on the way down. I figured I might have to fight on the way down, and just before I entered, I ran into my first red dragon and it cast hurt. So then I'm like, okay. I started fighting some easy things on the way down, hoping I'd run into red dragons and farm them for a level, but they never appeared. So when I got to the bottom, I said, forget it.
Yeah, that was me. I was about 500 experience away, I think, and I was like, I had run out of herbs by that point, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to fight.
By the way, just to throw that out there, the name and the sprite choice were very intentional. Shoutouts to some Diener in the Dragon Quest community.
All right.
Nice. Now I'm gonna have to watch it and see what that's all about.
Yeah.
By the way, any final words before we wrap this up?
Yeah, thank you guys for the Restream team. I know we've had so many races lately. It's kind of a scramble to get everybody together to broadcast these, but so really appreciate you guys doing it.
Absolutely second that. You guys have been crushing it behind the scenes. Like we couldn't be doing this without you guys. I really appreciate all the work you're putting in.
Good Jace, GG. Thank you very much, of course, with Wolfman working with me and everyone working with us to figure out how to get this race, at least both races done tonight.
Yeah. GG, guys. Have a nice night.
I just want to
Anyone.
say, I'll get you next time, Highspirits.
This is just even us up for our last match, that's all. We
True.
didn't have to swamp to save you this time.
Yeah, I need that swamp. That would have saved me.
Well, for anyone out there in chat or in the room right now, we've got a race room open for a post-game race. But other than that, thank you Wolfman2000 for the restream. Thank you Melee Wizard, and thank you Tyrannex for the tracking. And Chitin, thank you very much for carrying the weight tonight.
No problem. And we're about to head to Randomizer 2 with the Pentaforce race between Paratrooper and Southern Bristol. So we're going to raid over there soon. So this is on behalf of JD Smith. I'm Kind619 saying have a good fight, good night, and see you on the next race. Good night, everyone.
I see mcgrew and up2. You guys are still here. Where did you guys do your final grind? Or did you guys need to do one?
I didn't need to do one.
Yeah, I needed like a half a level, so the last thing I did was Hawksness, so I fought like 3 or 4 golems. That wasn't going too well, and so then when I was kind of getting ready to get the last level, I just stopped by the spike tile in the swamp cave, and that turned out to be the blue dragon, which was also kind of slow.